Welcome gamers to another One Piece Punch Rush video. So today we're going to be looking at the man who's aspiring to become the king of the pirates, Monkey D. Luffy. So with this, our first EX Luffy, he is a very powerful character, and him being an attacker is just too stupid. Because with Luffy units, there's sometimes a hit or miss, depending on the hitbox and everything. But this Luffy was just perfectly designed in every way. Even after it's almost a year since it's been released, and he's still dominating and crushing league. But he had a bit of a downtime due to the EX Shanks, of course. So we're going to be looking at his traits and of course his gameplay and all that beautiful stuff. So he has he's the first EX class changing, whatever you want to call it. So he can go to a runner and his base state an attacker, but he has a more aggressive state of being an attacker with his bounce man, and then the runner being the snake man state. So he switches to snake man, the runner class, with the skill 1, gives him invincibility, and he just does a long range attack with knockback back. But with the snake man has really great numbers, faster than bounce man, and they have longer reach. Even his skill, once he changes into snake man, is really great. So it has, the cooldown doesn't matter, you just need to look at the skill attack. Luffy's cooldowns with his traits and how he changes from bounce man to snake man, they're just insane. You always have his skill always on standby. There's not a moment with this attacker where you don't have a skill with him. And then he has his snake man traits, his skill 1, tempting back to his base state for attacker, and then his gum jet calibrant is insane, stuns the enemy, multiple long range hit. This one is not the most damaging one, but when you look to get that clash flag with your runner form and stun the enemy, you should use it on attackers and runners, people who you kill. Because when it comes to defenders, this does not do as much damage, because most of the defenders have damage reduction or defense buffs, so the snake man does not do a lot of damage, and his skill attack does not ignore defense like the bounce man. As you're hearing me say all of this stuff, the bounce man is definitely the better state out of the two, but the snake man definitely has some pros when it comes to that the bounce man legs, especially the faster mobility, faster movement, and the normals are really insane. So yes, you know what his skill 2 is, and he has the typical EX attack boost, but this is not just small stuff. When this hits and team boost, people are just getting one shot, and this Luffy does a ridiculous amount of damage, so he's insane already. And when he changes to his bounce man state, when he's in this regular attacker state with his skill 2, he gets the King Kong gun, and then the King Organ gun. Yes. So yeah, with this it also does a multiple hit, and it stuns. The stun is 100%. They always say chance to inflict, but it's 100%. And this one does a lot of damage. It ignores defense on all the steps. So every attack he does, he's ignoring defense. So great for taking out tanky opponents, especially defenders that you may have problems against. And the cooldowns, of course, they don't matter. So looking at his traits and his bounce man state, when everything with this character is surrounded by that's above 70% threshold, which is good, but him not being as tanky, and unlike the blue Dolphy, he doesn't have a shield to keep himself above that 70% threshold. It can be a problem because you do lose out on a lot. He has damage increase, which I didn't think he had, because when it comes to defenders like Zephyr and high damage reduction defenders, he does struggle against them, especially Zephyr. Zephyr and Shanks are his counters, the remains basically. And then after killing an enemy, he gets his skill 2 cooldown, But usually after you use your Congo gun skill, you change back to normal and use Snake Man. People do it. Some other people wait for his skill to come back again because the Bounceman is really that dominant in lane when it comes to killing, because it's primarily supposed to be used as an attack, not mostly run. And he has the Luffy traits, ignoring shock, entrance, and all of those lovely stuff. And then his skills, both his Snake Man and Bounceman, they nullify being down, so just stagger, which is great. But knockback, he's susceptible to that. But him having that stun chance, even characters that can knock back, they can get stunned before they apply that knockback effect. So it's still great. It's still in an ages bad. And then he has the attacker increase. This is insane combined with his multiple things. Like unlike Akainu, which he used to get people incinerated to get that massive attack buff, EX Luffy just needs to keep hitting you and you're gonna get that one shot potential soon. But he does a lot of that regardless whether he stacks or not. Then he gets the cooldown when he has less treasure, the skill 2 cooldown. But as I said, people just change form from Snake Man to Bounceman, so the cooldowns don't really matter much. Yes. And then he has the 1 HP effect, which is really good. This, for him, not being stinky, it's really good for him because he can bounce back and use your skills, maybe tremor you or knock back you and recover HP with killing or capping. And then he has another, HP above 70% restriction. He gets damage reduction and reduces damage against attackers. And when he's receiving percentage damage, like from Akainu, even King skill 1, he recovers 6%, which is great. And then when he's dealing damage 6 times to an enemy, he gets 30% defense. Like he's meant to be tanky, but when you look at him in league, he's not tanky. He's always dying up. But against red units like Big Mom and Kaido, they don't do damage to him. Yes, unless King's using his skill 2, but they do struggle. You can see Luffy's tankiness when it comes to red units, but other than that, it's not that. And then his boost rate, absolutely great. He nullifies status effects, so even when people play with Uta and everything, you have to do some cheap damage to him so that you can lower him and get him status infected. So this protects him really well, especially not having any status nullification traits in his active. And then the Snake Man form, it's just the run, the boost when his HP is above 70%, doesn't get the damage increase, but he gets the the recovery on kills, so he gets a heal back when he caps and the capture speed, and everything is just the same. So yeah, this is an amazing unit overall. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and the rest of the gameplay, and watch his trailer when he was really hyped. So we're on to the first gameplay in the Sabodi evening stage. I mean, EX Luffy has been brought back to the meta only because of the Reds coming back. So yeah, he's destructive against them. But his playstyle as an attack, just like all attackers, you need to play a bit cautiously with him. You need to bait your enemies so that you can aim your skills well. Because if you don't use your skills with Luffy, you don't time them well, or you don't trap your enemies in them, you're going to realistically be forced to fight with normals or just escape and until you get your cooldowns back. But yeah, he's not tanky, especially when fighting against his most powerful threats, the Shankses and the Zappos. So maybe with the rest you can hang in there with your normals, but you should really be careful. So yes, these games were bought by my friend from Alliance mate Chase. So yeah, he really did well. He understands how Luffy plays. But with when you're fighting against Big Mom, you really have to be careful of the invincibility skills and the fact that they can also change skills, and because they are also EX class changing unit, so they can spam skills back to back and do all of those things. So, and you need to be aware which one can knock you back, which one can be invincible. Then you can use your skills. So when you're against Big Mums and King, whenever they see you as an EX Luffy, they're afraid. They will just mostly randomly spam skill. They will not bait you because they know if they don't skill you or hit you with something before they attack them, they will be dead. Either they will run away from you, target someone else, or go on capping or go on defending something else, because they know EX Luffy is just one shot potential for them. But you can use this with effect, an intimidation effect. Like the enemies will know that we're not messing with EX Luffy. So yes, I mean Big Mom tried to run away, bam, the skill 2 still killed the in the end. And this is just the advancement form. The Snake Man could have even had longer reach than that. But look at this, Blade, and then this Big Mom's just about to respawn, probably going to use a skill 2. Yeah, there it is. And of course, just like that. But that's easy dodge. And then Big Mom targeting the invincible skill. Chase decided to leave it to Yamato. But even look, just back spamming skills, and then in the advancements they just need to wait for your skill 1 to change back into your base state, then back to Snake Man. That should have been a perfect dodge, and should have neutralized all the damage. That was a great play. I mean, you really have to have great connection for that to happen, because 1 HP, even if you take a single hit, you would have died during your invincibility state. But yeah, it kicked in at the right time and he timed it so well against that game. Instant one shot. But it is team boost. Even when you stacked up, even if it's not team boost at times, you can kill. And yes, you can use your Luffy, skills to protect you against other invincible skills like Big Mom or Shanks' movement, and then use the other skill to KO them. But as you can see, they couldn't even do anything. As for Red, Luffy's tank against them, and yeah, it was just killing them left and right. It was an easy game, but that's just how EX Luffy is against Red. It's just a shredder. You really need to play smart against them. Like, they can really dominate the game. So on to the second gameplay. So with the second gameplay, still mostly full rate team, but there is a Shanks and there is a Kaido. I mean, Kaido is not that problematic to Luffy, even though with the Cavalry, because he's not as tanky as Shanks. All nullifying stag and nullifying status, this is all the banes and pains that Luffy has against Shanks. Yeah, doesn't have all of that. You just need to, bait his invincible. Once you bait his invincible skill, bait the dodge, then skill 2 with the tremor. Yes, or Snake Man if you want to keep the flag from him. But preferably you want to use the Bondsman to get rid of him quick for your team, so that he doesn't go around to run away from your spawn flag and do all this nasty stuff Kaido does usually. Just protect him from bullying your team. So yes, this usually happens a lot. Like, people in global, they don't keep the first flags. I don't know why. Even if people have defenders, they usually keep doing this. Oh man, that king skill 1 is insane. How did knockback that other king so far away? It's from the other side of the wall. And yeah, that was a bit of a misplay from Chase. Should have known once Big Mom uses heavily bonbon, he still has another skill that can knock, EX Luffy back. Even though it doesn't shock, it still knocks him back, so it takes him out of his skills. Wait for that invisibility skill and boom. Oh, she didn't take that damage because there is a little bit of a frame before. After you use your skill, I mean. Where, these EX units, they can't get hit. Then Shanks is coming. Yeah, this is really a pain. It's either they teleport to you or run to you. Like, you really have to hope you do one-shot damage. Oh, and then cancel the EX Luffy out of the skill. Could have tried to kill him with Bound Man. But yeah, the Roger came in clutch just like that, which is actually insane. When you have teammates like that help you against the units you are disadvantaged against, that's what you hope for in a team game like this. Then you can really shine with EX Luffy. The meta is not right now mixed with a lot of reds, a lot of blues, a lot of greens, thanks to Big Mom and King. Yeah, the King tried to one shot, but look at that, the normals. It's not even team boost. 6k, 12k. I mean, EX Luffy is really, really deadly, especially when you're red. You don't want to use normals against him. So as a red, like beware. The match is looking fire. It's just there's a lot of runners trying to cap, but they're not losing 0-5, which is great. Then yeah, easy. You just need to wait for Big Mom to spam all her skills because she's afraid, and then that's when you kill her. Because she's not gonna kill you. As I said, like Luffy's tanky. So yeah, as you can see, when you get these types of matches, you can easily dominate with EX Luffy, and the match is looking on the side. But they have like 4 attackers, all of them in the last 30 seconds. Mostly it's like guaranteed to lose, especially if you just make one mistake against these runners, especially that King there that's fighting the Roger. But Roger definitely keeping it clutch there and kill the King before it's too late. And then that's another game just like that in the Savodi evening. It didn't have to go even to the upper level to do anything. So on to the third gameplay in Alabaster Day. I mean, it's still mostly red. There's no Shanks. It is really hard to get a good fight with Shanks in the gameplay and not getting one shot throughout the gameplay. Like, it's something you have to be wary of, because the only reason EX is back is not because Shanks is not he can fight Shanks. No, it's because of Big Mom and Kind, and that's what he's here to do, to help players be able to combat him. And definitely this unit is worth for to summon. Like, even though his raids is trash, he's still a Luffy, has great support tags and all of that, and is mostly everyone's favorite character in One Piece. So yeah, I mean, even if he's EX, it's still Luffy. We're probably going to see a Zoro coming in soon. That will be hype. And again, tried to dodge, but the dodge animation didn't proc. I don't know what's going on there. In EX Luffy versus EX Luffy, it depends on who gets the skill first. Big Moms, they always do that, but that skill is way too avoidable, and it doesn't auto-aim. The thing that makes EX Luffy great, his skills are literally auto-aim. Like, even if you went aim at the skill first, the skill will redirect to you and hit you with the final hit. It's so absurd. And he's like the most bugged unit in the game. Like, he always gets you, like, stuns you. Even if you think you're far away, his Gatlings, like, they're always just at the edge. Once you get one stun, you get all the hits. That's how it, even if you are really out of range. So yeah, that's the units. And sometimes, like, his animations don't show up correctly. Like, his King Kong gun doesn't animation doesn't proc. So he's a really bad unit, but that gives him all the advantage, to players. Try to perfect dodge there, but with this perfect dodge, if you get the first couple of hits and the dodging barrier like appears after that, I mean, there's nothing you could do. It's bender and sever leg, like the barrier is not optimized as how we'd want it. But yes, the last gameplay you'll see LT just wrecking everybody. We'll probably do a gameplay sometime, but of course not from me, since I don't have a didn't get like I've been hunting her. She just doesn't proc up. She's been on so many rebanners, and so she's returned so many times, but the game doesn't want to give you a character. It doesn't want to give you a character, and that's for me how it is even with EX characters. That's why I just decided this year I'm not chasing them, just going to summon on bounty festivals, because when the rate is that 0.2% is not against it's against you, there's nothing you can do. There's actually free-to-play players who can get all the EXs with their free-to-play stones, literally have all of them in their box, and still have some of the recent BFs in 2022. It's not like they're saving mad or something. You really just need luck with this game. And as you can see, Alti carried there, even the big mom. She's also like a mini EX Luffy. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. And leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below on the video. Have a nice one.